All right, welcome back to the Showseph. As always, I'm your host with the most if.
Hey,
Joseph.
yeah.
And join me once again, second appearance on the Showseph. It's Matt Yaari, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
It's
all
me,
the crowd.
the guest. Who's the best?
The guest is who's the best.
Yeah.
That's
sure.
Yeah. How's it going,
I
Matt?
like that. Oh, it's going all right.
Yeah.
I've been busy running around, doing
Yeah.
the thing. Doing life.
Doing life.
Yeah.
Sure.
Still.
Right.
Not dead yet.
Yeah. Unless, well, this goes out live, so obviously then you'd still be live when this goes out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what's gonna happen. Between now and when you edit it and then post. Look, I could be dead right now, but as of this moment,
you're still alive.
Still here.
Still kicking.
Still breathing.
Yeah. So Matt, thanks for being on the Showseph.
My pleasure.
For the second time.
Thanks for having me. Am I the first guest you've had twice on Showseph?
Kevin and Gabe have both been on twice, but also I don't know if they were playing themselves both times, so I don't remember.
All right.
Yeah.
So this might be the first time you've had one person be themselves.
Yeah.
Multiple times. I'm just trying to give myself some. Must be breaking some kind of barrier. I've got to give myself credit where it's not due.
So Matt, thanks for being back. There was so much stuff going on in the news that I thought, what a better person to talk about this stuff with.
There probably is a better person because I don't watch the news.
Neither do I.
I'll see some clips. Israel's been
they've been up to
they've been up to some mischief.
Sure,
we'll call it that.
Yeah.
Got some mixed feelings about that.
Sure.
Actually, well,
But Matt, that's not the type of news that we cover on the Showseph.
Oh, good, because I didn't want to talk about it anyway.
We talked about it a lot on the last time.
We did, yes. I'm kind of Israeled out at this point.
A little bit. Musicians. Do you listen to music?
Yes, I do listen to music.
Do you listen to Sabrina Carpenter?
Wear clothes. No, never heard of Sabrina Carpenter.
Okay, she's the new hot singer girl.
Okay.
What about Chappell Roan? Do you listen to Chappell Roan?
No. Unless, I may have heard their stuff, but not knowing who made it.
Yeah. What about I don't know, Charlie XCX? Do you listen?
That sounds familiar, but I still couldn't tell you what the music.
Taylor Swift? Do you know Taylor Swift?
Taylor Swift, I never heard of that one before either.
So it turns out you were probably the wrong guest to have.
Right, definitely the wrong.
Music.
By the way, I have heard of Taylor. That was a joke.
Yeah,
I'm very funny like that. It was ironic because everybody knows about Taylor Swift. But I know I've got to come clean.
Okay.
Can't lie. I'm like Abraham Lincoln.
Right. You're truthful to the soul.
Yeah.
So you don't listen to any of these teen singers?
No.
What do you think about teen singers? Do you think like what do you think about this because you're a conspiracy guy, right?
Okay, sure.
Yeah, you're big into conspiracies. Do you think the whole
I think that they're all being groomed?
Yeah, they're all being groomed, or they're all like being brought up within the industry. Like, do you think that?
Potentially. I'm certainly not opposed to the possibility of that.
Yeah.
I've definitely heard some stories on some conspiracy podcasts of like a survivor, this girl that was like trafficked amongst elites, like royal families and stuff. And then she had some fucked up stories, and then she said at some point when she was a teenager they like offered for her to be like a movie star.
Okay.
But she declined.
Who was the lady?
Well, I don't remember her name. Okay. And you wouldn't know who she is because she's
not famous.
No.
Yeah.
She could have been.
Right.
And apparently, they could just make you famous if they want to. So
that's what Sabrina Carpenter did. They made her famous.
Oh, yeah. No, that's kind of what happened. So I'm not saying every famous person is like that, but apparently, and who knows if that story is true either. But apparently amongst the celebrities, some of them were horribly abused kids.
Like friend of the show, Corey Feldman.
Yeah, he's a good friend of the show.
He's a friend of the show.
He's one of them, I guess. I was also just so happened to get a video from who was it? I think Drake, from like Drake and Josh.
Oh yeah.
Talk about he was molested by his producer multiple times.
I thought you were talking about the Drake who's been on this show.
It's a different Drake.
Different
He
Drake.
didn't tell me about any times
About
that he
getting
got
molested. Yeah.
but he's also not a celebrity.
Yeah.
You know.
He's famous within the Boiz universe.
Yes, which is really difficult to do.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Uh-huh.
it's pretty cutthroat. You
Yeah.
got to be molested by the elites.
Yeah, by the elites of Paradizo Studios.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so it's rough.
It is. Yeah, it's tough to make it on this side. But yeah, that's all these conspiracies are driving me wild because how do you feel about nepotism in Hollywood?
Nepotism in Hollywood. Actually, could you define nepotism? I've heard the word before. What is nepotism?
It's like when like an actor's kid becomes an actor and then they also become famous.
Oh, that's nepotism.
Yeah.
What do I think of that?
Because a lot of people are talking about these nepo-babies who are like the only reason they have careers is because their parents were celebrities.
Yeah.
Like say a Kelsey Grammer's daughter.
Yeah, there's a lot of that, and that happens.
Yeah.
What do I think of that?
Because people are very upset about it.
People are who are these people that are upset?
People on TikTok, I don't know.
Okay, so people whose opinions don't matter.
Yeah.
People are upset about fucking everything.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like
upset about Israel.
You know, yeah, nobody's upset about Israel. It's the only thing that everybody's totally cool and on the same page about. I don't know. I mean, it happens with everything. There's like athletes, and their son is an athlete, and that kind of happens in business. You know, you groom your child to run your business. If you're in Hollywood, you're some kind of celebrity, and that's what your kid grows up seeing. That's what they're gonna want to do. You know, so sometimes that happens, and I don't really. If that bothers you, then you're the problem, I think.
Yeah, take that, TikTok.
Yeah, fuck you, TikTok.
Yeah, nepotism isn't a problem in Hollywood.
I mean, Hollywood itself is a problem, just the fact that it exists and the way that it runs. But like nepotism is not the problem here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what I feel too. I don't really care that their kids are also famous because what else would they do,
Yeah. What they're gonna go be a social worker?
Yeah, go be a plumber or whatever?
No, they're not gonna do that.
Yeah. They're gonna also be actors and singers.
Right, yeah. That's it's the fun because when you do that, your life is just perfect.
Yeah.
Right? They never get addicted to drugs.
Right.
Kill themselves.
Sure.
So
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we covered that one.
It's a weight off my shoulders too, to say all that.
Yeah. What about this other celebrity conspiracy that they're all like art and Hollywood is like a psyop from like the Satanists like trying to,
What do I think about it?
Yeah, what do you think about it?
I think that there's probably some truth to it.
Yeah.
Probably quite a bit of truth to it.
Sure.
Yeah. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
The whole, the conspiracy, whatever you want to call it, it's all about control and like, putting ideas into people's minds.
Yeah.
And Hollywood is as powerful of a medium to do that. If they got all the money and the influence in the media, then yes, of course, it's a big part of it, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And what do you think about the open mic comedy scene? Do you think that's also a psyop?
Yeah, I think that the open mic comedy scene is clearly just a front for the elites to control local open mic comedians and the drunk assholes at local bars who are just they're alcoholics out on a Tuesday, going to see a shitty open micer, practice his bits. And that's how they control our minds because, some guy is practicing his latest dick joke. It's pretty obvious once you see it. Once you see it, you can't unsee it.
You can't unsee it, right?
Right.
Have you run into any psyop Hollywood elites at any open mics?
Other than Paul Aaliyah or something. He's the closest thing I've seen to a celebrity at an open mic.
Okay.
So.
He might be on the Hollywood psyop. You never know.
Is he part of it?
Might be.
Well, he's not Jewish, so it's unlikely. We run that shit.
Sure.
So
yeah.
When I say we, I mean them.
They, them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
They. You got to get the pronouns right. Of the elites. They'll be very upset if you misgender.
Yeah.
The Rothschilds.
Right. Paul can't be the only elite you've seen in the open mic community.
I mean, most of the people I've seen in the open mics.
Yeah, but you've never seen like a Sam Talent or someone. I've been told he's been like going to the open mics.
I don't think I've seen
Okay.
Sam. Not that I can remember.
All right. Well, yeah, I guess.
I don't know. Brad Wenzel.
Brad Wenzel, yeah, does he count? He hangs out with the Hollywood elites.
I guess so. I guess, he's getting, his butthole fingered here when
Yeah.
he used to perform at New Way.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Who else? I guess Ron Taylor.
Ron Taylor, I don't know who that is, but yeah.
Oh, he's another guy who came up here, doing pretty good, and he moved to LA. He was like living in his van for a couple of years, and apparently is starting to build a nice little career for himself. I think he moved to Austin or something. I don't know. I've actually never
psyoped.
spoken to him, but I've seen him.
He's
in New Way a couple times.
Jacob Barr, he's psyoped.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Right. How do you think his hands got like that?
Right. Yeah.
Right. Other than
this is the Hollywood elites.
being the Hollywood elites.
Yeah.
Just molesting the shit out of him till his hands melted.
Sure.
You gonna air this one?
Yeah, probably not.
All right.
He'll never watch it.
Yeah.
I've met him like twice.
Okay. I've met him once at a roast battle.
Okay.
And I didn't roast him head to head, but he made it to the finals. Did he win? He might have. I don't remember if he won or not. But I got knocked out in the first round by Preston Hart. And then Jacob Barr made it to the finals. I think against Preston. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Preston beat Jacob in the final round of that roast battle.
Nice.
So shout out to Preston.
Shout out to Preston. Yeah.
Preston also invited me to he roasted a whole pig a year ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've seen him roast twice.
Yeah. He can do every kind of roast you can imagine.
He's good at roasting.
Right. Both the jokes and the pigs.
We did a roast battle together once. I didn't go up against
We did?
Yeah.
Which one was that?
At Parts and Labor.
Oh, you were at that one?
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
That was
fun.
Ago.
I made it to the finals, and I lost to Steve Kaz. And I have been roasting Steve Kaz in my mind for the last 3 years.
Loading up on roast.
I hate Steve Kaz.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because he beat me in my first roast.
Yeah.
Although, in my opinion, I thought I lost in the semifinals. But
so you just kind of gave up?
No, I didn't give up. I thought the other guy had beaten me, but so it's almost like I don't even know if I even deserved to get to the finals.
Sure.
But once I was there, my first joke was better than any of his. Right, and my second one was pretty similar, but my third joke fucking bombed. So they gave it to Steve Kaz.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure he psyoped his way to the top.
Yeah, right. He's got connections with the Jews. Right. And they didn't. Right.
I lost the first round, so I just tuned out the rest of the night, and I was
don't remember it. That was actually one of the most fun nights I've ever had doing comedy.
Really?
It was a lot. I had fun.
Because
you got knocked out in the first round, so that's
devastated.
Sucks. And when I got knocked out in the first round, it fucking sucked. Yeah. But like when you move on, you feel like
when you get to the final round.
Yeah, right. The more
like, I might have a career in this.
Exactly, right. You get encouraged, and you get false hopes and all that.
And then Steve Kaz fucking ruins it all.
Yeah. What else is new?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. There was something else I was going to say, but I forgot it.
That's okay. Probably didn't matter.
It probably did not. You're right.
So who else do you know that's in the PSYOP?
Well,
the Hollywood elite side,
right? Hollywood, that's part of their media front, right? Just all the movies and stuff.
Yeah, and then the secondary front is Parts and Labor roast battles.
Right. Well, that's just lower down in the hierarchy.
Right.
Right. So you got Universal Studios up here, and then you got Parts and Labor and New Way Bar right underneath.
Right.
It's a pyramid.
That's how they keep their grasp on entertainment.
Yeah.
They start at the bottom.
Right. Brett Solferino is clearly a foot soldier.
Right.
Yeah,
dude. That mustache, he's...
Right, and it's clearly suspicious.
Yeah.
Right. Only an elite would have the kind of confidence to walk around with the handlebars like that.
Right.
And the same boots for the last 7 years that he's worn every single time I've ever seen him. Yeah. Those are cool boots, Brett, by the way. I like your boots. But I don't know if he keeps buying the same ones.
Yeah, every time they get a little, little beat up.
Yeah, maybe he's just got a whole stockpile of the same boot.
Yeah.
Or these ones are just really resilient and they don't fucking fall apart ever.
Yeah. So I guess, I don't know, we've talked a lot about the Hollywood PSYOP and about, the elites. What are we going to do about it, Matt?
I think the only real solution is everybody just needs to go live on a farm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to go live on a farm and just stop using money,
Okay.
and then the whole thing collapses.
Okay. So just stop
Right.
using money.
Everybody just move on a farm and raise your own food and stop using money, and that's the solution.
Would we talk to each other or?
Yes, but only using carrier pigeons.
Okay.
Right. can't use any of the infrastructure. Right. Can't use banks.
Okay.
Actually, I'm definitely being facetious here.
Yeah.
Although it's kind of true.
This is a
little
comedy
bit.
show, Matt. So
I understand that. It's what I'm saying is only partially true.
Okay.
How do we take it down? Oof, that's a long answer. You first need to understand what citizenship is. This is a whole. You probably take a whole hour. When you're born, they make a corporation out of your name.
Sure.
And that's how you interface with the government,
right,
is as a corporate entity, but you think that it's really you.
Yeah.
And once you figure that out, you can, basically not be a citizen, and then they can't really do anything to you, not legally. So there's a lot of people do. I'm been learning about this stuff lately. But we consent to be part of the elite's system, and you could just leave if you know how to.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to just not be a part of the system, you can just leave.
Yeah. Well, you have to undo all your contracts.
You have to undo all your contracts.
You've every time you sign paperwork with the government,
you just have to get a new signature, or
no? You could send in like
just like a pile of shit and just tell them
it's not even that big. You could just say, this is as far as this paperwork that I signed, I'm just ending this contract. I didn't understand the terms, and therefore it's not a valid contract. And you just kind of like cut all those things up. If you got a marriage license, your driver, any kind of license, a bunch of different, your voter's registration, your passport. Anytime you do anything with the government, anytime you go to the Secretary of State, anytime you do any of that, what you're doing is you're signing a contract, even though you don't know it. Anytime you apply for something,
right,
and you can just say this contract is no longer valid, and then they don't really have any authority over you.
Do they have any authority? Like, really, do they have any authority over you while the contracts are signed?
Only if you
abide by their
yes
rules?
And no. Right. They can catch you verbally, which is what they do. But they speak to you in a certain way, and you don't understand what the words mean. And at that point, you're basically liable for the terms of the contract. So if you end the contract, then they don't have anything binding you to their laws and their rules and the way that they operate. Right? Because everybody's like, why do you follow, why do you do everything they say? Because you don't want the police to throw you in jail.
Sure.
Right?
Right.
But the only reason they can throw you in jail is because of all the contracts that you've signed over the course of your life.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. And I think, the viewers of the Showseph are really going to take something away from this.
And, educate the people.
Right.
This is how we end the system, understanding the contracts.
Yeah. So, folks at home, just end your contracts, and then you'll
end
be
your contracts. Look up Brandon Joe Williams. Right? Look him up on YouTube, and he's got a bunch of content about the contracts.
Right.
If you want to learn more.
Yeah.
It's interesting stuff.
And follow Yaari Comedy.
Yeah, follow Yaari Comedy. I post on Instagram about once a month.
Yeah.
It's really low-level content.
Sure.
It's
the bottom of the psyop. You're like at the very bottom of the psyop.
I'm not controlling anybody's minds because I don't even put it out there.
Yeah.
That's why I'm doing these podcasts, so I might get some clips. Right?
Yeah.
Like this one. Can we turn this into
a clip? We can turn
this
into a clip. Sure.
I want this clip. I'll put it on
Instagram. I'll send you this clip.
People are going to want to see this moment again.
Right.
Many times.
All right. Well, that's been it for the Showseph. Thank you, Matt, for coming in.
Thank you, Joseph.
And we'll see you next time. Big peace.